could say to make you try to feel okay, and nothing you could do to stop me feeling the way I do. And if the chance should happen that I never see you again, just remember that I'll always love you.
Hi, welcome back to Pandas, my dog, and me. So this video is a Q&A video, and I'd like to start off with saying thank you for all the amazing questions I've had. This is probably going to be a part 2 video because I want to answer as many questions as possible. Let's get straight on with this video. Question number 1. How many years have I had pandas? I've had pandas for 7 years now. My first few symptoms started when I was only 4, and things were really difficult when I was 9. That was the time when it was stuff like OCD, separation anxiety, eating disorder. There were so many problems, you name it. It was a problem. Yeah, so I've had pandas for 7.5 years now. Question 2. What is it like living with a medical condition? Living with a medical condition can be very challenging. With pandas, I can have some really good days, but also some really difficult days as well. On the days which are called good days, there are still loads of challenges which I have to face, but I have my own way of dealing with these challenges. But on the bad days, well, it's just like my whole world's falling apart. Here's some videos of what happens on a bad day.
Mommy, I'm missing you.
Life with a medical condition can be really unpredictable, and you don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. I could be looking forward to something for months, yet on the day, it's really difficult and I really struggle, and I have no control of that. Like last Christmas, I was really looking forward to Christmas Day, but then on Christmas Day I suddenly had OCD to keep going to the toilet, and I really needed the toilet constantly, and yeah, really unpredictable. Question 3. What has been the most successful treatment so far? So the most successful treatment for me is certainly IVIG. IVIG stands for intravenous immunoglobulins. IVIG is a treatment which basically infuses antibodies into my body. The reason why this helps pandas children is because it dilutes and corrects the old antibodies. Therefore, they don't attack my brain as much. I've had 3 IVIGs. The first IVIG was life-changing. Before the IVIG, I was extremely unwell with an eating disorder, but soon after the treatment, my eating disorder was cured. It's like magic. Question number 4. Do I have any tips for when it comes to having labs done? Okay, so not really. I really struggle with having blood taken. In fact, it has taken me hours to even let them look at my arm or my wrist or wherever I'm having blood taken from. I have a serious fear of my joints, and I don't like looking at my veins, and it freaks me out, and when I have a blood test, I think that a stranger is poking a needle into my body, and they're like a vampire sucking your blood, and it's gross. I can't get my head around it. And I know blood can be useful for almost everything, because it tells you everything from your iron levels to your vitamin D to the amount of toxins in your blood, you name it, it tells you. The strategies which I've tried before are things like hiding under a blanket and I don't like extending my arms. Again, fear of my joints, and holding my arm out for the nurse to suck blood. Okay? You can tell I don't even like talking about it. It feels thick. You could also try counting to 30 really slowly, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you name it. Carry on if you want. But none of these strategies seem to have worked for me before. You could also try listening to some music or watching some YouTube videos. You could watch one of my YouTube videos if you want. Just thought I'd put it in there. Hey, Twamp. Over. Oh, by the way, do you like Twamp's coat? It says assistant dog. If you seriously struggle, you could try sedation. And I know it's not the best of ways, and I know some doctors will refuse to sedate children multiple times. But if they allow it and you seriously are terrified of it like I am, gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, I know it's horrible. You could also try, if you go to a paediatric hospital, you will find that the play leaders are excellent at distracting you while you're having blood taken. And if you are really scared, you could even schedule an appointment a few weeks beforehand or a few days beforehand your blood test, and the play leaders will just talk to you about it and explain what's going to happen. Yeah, so I know this has been more about me, not about you, but honestly, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. I would probably recommend the most hiding under a blanket, but it's that threshold for me to give them my arm. Anyway, next question. Question 5, 6, and 7. So all these questions kind of link together, so I thought I'd just smudge them all in, and that's it. So the questions are: what was the hardest part of my illness? What foods would I not eat when I stopped eating? And would I eat my favourite food? The hardest part of my illness was probably my eating disorder. When I was really unwell with my eating disorder in 2017 to 2018, I more or less had stopped eating altogether. I really wanted to eat, but faulty thinking made me pick my food into miniature pieces and check every single little inch of the food for black bits. I was terrified to eat food. I thought that it was dangerous. I thought that it would poison me. I thought all sorts about it. And that was down to faulty thinking. And it was really difficult for me because it became even more difficult by the day. And it was like a weakness. I mean, PANDAS is a weakness. So, what foods would I not eat when I stopped eating? Like I've just said, I was absolutely terrified of food. And the foods which I wouldn't eat, I would like one day, but then if they smelt funny or tasted funny, or there was something not normal about it, I'd leave it. Whether if it was my favourite chocolate bar, or a pizza, or roast dinner, whatever, I would not eat it. And some foods which I've gone off then, 2 years ago, I still don't like now. And it just shows how much an eating disorder impacts on your life. I had to check all of the sell-by dates, and some days it would even take up to 2 hours to eat a meal. My whole day basically consisted of washing my hands, going to the toilet, eating my dinner, washing my hands, going to the toilet, eating my dinner. Because like I've mentioned earlier, that was the time where I had OCD with hand washing excessively, when my hands always used to, it didn't show up on camera, always used to look scabbed and like this. As for the question, did I eat my favourite food at the time, it's probably not really. My favourite food at the time was probably chocolate buttons. And this is a video of what I used to do to them.
How many you got left? Golden bits.
Also, I was really tired at the time. I weren't eating a lot, therefore I was quite tired and weak. I would be exhausted to do anything. And I remember going on holiday one time and I was freezing. I was sat by the pool and it was beautiful hot weather, but I was freezing because I was so skinny. Question 8 and 9. So the questions are, has psychosis been something which I have suffered with? And can I remember psychosis? If so, do I realise that my thoughts were not realistic? My mum says I was at my worst with psychosis when I was about 6 or 7 though. Sometimes when I've been psychotic, I didn't even realise what was happening or what I was doing over other times. I knew what I was doing, but I just didn't know how to stop. My mum tells me that once when I was at a hospital, I was running around the hospital and flicking all of the light switches and pressing all of the emergency buttons. I do remember a glimpse of it. I had an adverse reaction to a medicine, and that medicine was meant to relax me for having blood taken. It was awful. It was traumatic. It was horrendous. Any horrible word you can think of, that's what it was. In fact, the daft part about it was the blood test was the easiest part of the whole afternoon. It just really scary. Really scary. I guess the worst part of psychosis is the fact that you can't really remember what happened and what you did. Even if you did know, what could you do?
Evie, we can't go. Come on, we need some help. Come on. Evie. Evie, let's go back onto the ward, please. No, Evie.
I need to get it.
No,
I need to get it.
we're not going in the lift. Evie, please, stop it. Evie,
No.
stop. Evie, this is dangerous. Please stop.
So, thanks for watching Pandas, My Dog and Me, and make sure you come back for part 2 of questions and answers. See you next time. Bye for now. Bye.